Hello, hello! I am Kasasagi Usagi, and I am here with more Final Fantasy XIV. Sorry about no stream yesterday. The Overwatch stream ended a little too close to starting time, and just not enough time for me to do what I needed to do to prepare for stream. But this all works out because we missed a Final Fantasy stream before, so now when I post everything on YouTube, it'll all be even numbers again, which is very important to me. So what we are doing today, I definitely want to get Dragoon up before we hit too deep into the patches, and to get some other classes up that way as well. But what we will mostly be doing is, oh sorry ma'am. What we will mostly be doing is, dungeons. The level 50 ARR dungeons. I forgot how to get my UI back. We're going to start with Arcanist. I see the creatures beyond the city wall pose you little threat. It is with great pleasure then that I formally recognize your initiation into the guild. From this day forth you may be proud to bear the title of Arcanist. I suggest you continue forays into the wilderness and keep the pages of your grimoire turning. There is no finer teacher than the harsh mistress of experience. And when you feel that you can command Carbuncle easy as you might move your own limbs, return to me for further instructions. I will be waiting. Acting Guildmaster Thurbrium wishes to access the improvement of your Alchemia skills. Akali, isn't it? Are you eating well? An empty stomach distracts the mind and leads to a hurried judgment. I must oft remind my Arcanists to take meals, so in Kasen do they become in their studies. Speaking of such, have you been practicing your tactics with Carbuncle? I believe it is time to assess the improvement of your skills. As with your previous trial, I would have you defeat foes in Lower Lanosia. 3 wild dodos, 3 tiny manticoras, to be precise. Watch carefully the behavior of your opponents, formulate an effective strategy, and utilize your arcane entity to its fullest potential. I expect you to be back in time for lunch. You got it, ma'am. I have already killed so many, but I will kill some more. Lower Lanosia. Alright, we need to leave from the upper docks. Okay. Oh, I walked away from the teleporter. I do believe the Valentine's Day quests end today, so if you have not done them, do so. Well, they technically end tomorrow, but at like 2 a.m. So today, really. I think all we got was a Moogle hat. I have to double check to make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, you know what's fantastic? Now that I've done the game, I can just fly to wherever I need to be. Dun, dun. Keep my dots up like a good DPS. I don't know where Manticoras are. Maybe just over the hill? There they are. Tiny Manticoras. Every mount in this game can fly regardless of what it is. My motorcycle, carbuncles, dogs, cats. Everything is allowed to fly. There was a time when things couldn't fly. Like, everything could fly, though. I remember that very well. And it never bothered me. It's just like World of Warcraft. There's very few things that can fly. Well, not very few things, but you have more things that can't fly that can. Welcome back, Akali. It appears your coordination with Carbuncle is progressing at a satisfactory pace. Shall we test your growing acumen with a more practical examination? Our work at Melvin's Gate requires us to inspect and record the contents of incoming cargo. To simulate such a task, I have had several crates transported at the cliff south of Zephyr Gate. I want you to examine those crates and then return the inspected cargo here to me. You would be surprised at the depths to which some merchants will sink to deter our customers' agents from performing thorough investigations. False bottoms, rotting foodstuffs, fish-eating Velkin. I suggest you be prepared for any eventuality. I think Zephyr's Gate is actually right here. No. Yes? I actually don't think so anymore. Oh, it's the other gate. Okay, that's fair. No, that gate does lead somewhere else. It leads to Stormblood. The other expansion. I remember now. It's all coming back to me. I am not a threat. Pray ignore my presence at the present and allow me to cogsiate. The reaction to my sudden appearance was within expected parameters, but I must admit I did not expect so proficient a performance against the enemies set against you. Yet, effective though your tactics were, I spied much room for improvement. As I watched you battle, the wheels in my mind whirled into motion, as they are wont to do, investigating other possible strategies you might have employed. Let's see. Taking into account your current level of ability, factoring in the aesthetic constant, multiplying by the number of opponents, and applying your tactics to other potential combat scenarios. Oh dear, my calculations indicate failure upon accounting threat level 9,785. Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. Though the opportune window to do so has passed, I would nevertheless introduce myself. I am Kalia, a Malevolent Gate Accessor. Acting Guildmaster Thadrium elected me to oversee your training and provide any necessary guidance and instructions in the field of Arcamia. From what I have observed thus far, you have an admirable grasp of the fundamentals. I do, however, wish to confirm one small detail. Regarding your choice of arcane geometries, what factor most influences your actions during battle? I simply do what feels right. Haha, just as I predicted, and now I have the final element needed to perform another calculation. The probability of you becoming an Arcanist of note is 90%, give or take half a percent. Yes, the certainty is quite high. After all, I only know of one other practitioner who responded to my question in the same manner. It was the man who bestowed upon me this grimoire, the Guildmaster himself. While our inscrutable leader is, I'm sure you've heard, on an indefinite leave of absence, he did leave us with his most notorious saying to date. Strategy is a tool used to manipulate one's situation to the desired reality. No matter how gifted you and I might be, however, the instantaneous manipulation of reality that might cause us to suddenly become mighty arcanists is beyond our present abilities. Discipline and experience is the finest strategy in this case. I suggest you continue focus on refining your aptitude with Carbuncle. Mastery with an arcane entity will greatly improve your success as a wielder of Arcamia. Here ends the lesson for today. Pray return to the guild. I believe Mistress Jerome is awaiting some inspected cargo. And what of myself? I'm off to the fields, of course. The tactics I reasoned out earlier must be attempted in real-life scenarios. Theory is all well and good, but there is no suitable substitute for actual combat. We will meet again soon. Alrighty. Oh, flying is so good. Doing these baby quests while flying is exactly how I want to experience the game. Akali, you have returned with the cargo? I have. Take it. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Relatively clear of blood and other gore. That can be something of a problem in our profession. You understand, I also had word from Kalia regarding your performance. She seems eager to continue your training. An odd lass, I'll admit, but the guild can boast no finer mind for tactics. You would do well to heed the instructions she offers, particularly that which touches on the diligent approach of our art. Did you perhaps notice the battered tome Kalia carries? The Initiate's grimoire has served her from the day she entered the guild. She has her reasons, but admittedly strange to see it capped all the way to her present position as Foreseer. I fear such an intense focus on Arcamia has led her to overlook other important aspects of life. As our master's strategist guides your Arcanist training, I hope that you might return the favor and help to broaden her own perspective somewhat. But enough of such matters for the moment. You have done well this day, Akali. Continue your practice with Carbuncle, as Kalia has bid. I will be here when the time comes for your next lesson. I actually don't think I need a new robe. I probably did need a new robe. I thought I had one from being a healer. But I was wrong. My time for my next lesson is, in fact, now. Oh, no. I didn't need a new robe. This is what I'm wearing. my goodness. I'll probably get the gloves then. Yes, Akali, the time for your next lesson is upon us. You're keeping well, I trust, taking the occasional brisk walk. One cannot form sound thoughts if one fails to maintain a sound body. Now, assuming you have been following Calthea's instructions, you should be ready to face the more dangerous threats found in western Lanosia. I speak of roselings and wild jackals, and yes, I would have you vanquish 3 of each. 'Tis the perfect sample size. The first acts as a preliminary test case, the second to test your hypothesis, the third to perfect the tactics you've devised. Speaking of which, I trust your strategy will consist more than simply flinging rune over and over again. You are not the novice you once were, and your skills in the field ought reflect that. If you find yourself wanting for other approaches, consider the nefarious combination of rune and bio. When timed appropriately, you can deal a crippling blow to your opponent. Slightly sprightly. Oh, I need to kill that. And I need to kill that. I am well. I hope you are too. Yes, I am, so I'm also picking up classes that have, important lore and story stuff attached to them, and Arcanist, which will eventually become Summoner, has many, has much lore. Much important, delicious lore. So we're gonna do that. And Dragoon is important, too. Now we're just casting spells, and I got this little guy, this little blue friend. Look at him go. I would say yes. It will turn into a 2-wing demon. I would say yes, Ancient Legend. The Shadowbringer's story is amazing. If you haven't gotten there already. And the person who wrote the Shadowbringer's story is writing the new expansion, Endwalker, so I expect very, very good things from it. And what's it, right? I can just fly back. Not a big deal. Do need more lightning sprites, though. That is a level 14 lightning sprite. Fuck it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Easy peasy. I'm gonna grab that other one just to complete the log. But yes, Shadowbringers, I have played most of all the Final Fantasy games. Not quite all of them, but Shadowbringers, like, you have to know other things in the game. Like, I wouldn't at all recommend skipping ahead. But the segment itself is probably one of the best Final Fantasies I have ever played. It is amazing. I will forever be chasing the high that was the end of Shadowbringers. Or, like, not so much the high, but, like, the feeling it left me with. Arcanist. I am missing an aetherite point, and I cannot. Oh, I bet it's the Martyrs Guild. I think I mentioned this yesterday. I'll have to run and get that at some point. I have returned, victorious in all things. Welcome back, Akali. How did it feel to conquer such ferocious foes? Let us ride that wave of triumph onto an even more demanding and dangerous challenge. Your next training exercise will have you accompanying Forseer Kalia on one of her inspections. This experience will afford you the opportunity to witness firsthand the practical applications of Arcanist. Pray do not tarry, Kalia awaits you on the floor below with further details. Let's see here. A timely appearance as I expected. Shall we proceed directly at the job at hand? I have been tasked with examining the wares of Goblin Peddler Caravan, run by Bolstock's family. Our agents suspect these beastmen merchants of dealing in forbidden goods. As such, I have calculated the announcing an inspection has a 60% chance of inviting physical violence. I have prepared a strategy to respond to this possible shift into hostilities, but there is an important condition you should be made aware of before we discuss the finer points of my plan. Though I am considered gifted in the formation of tactics, I lack the reflexes and coordination necessary to employ many of those self-same strategies on the field of battle. Pray keep this factor in mind and adjust your perceptions accordingly. Oh yeah? Now, should the goblins offer battle, you are to execute combat pattern 1345, otherwise known as Stratagem Focus Fire. No, it does not. I don't particularly care for how the Viera look in this game. You and your Emerald Carbuncle will concentrate your attacks on a single foe. One by one, the enemy will wither under the combined onslaught probability of victory, 95%. Yeah, I know. Get over it. Reports place the peddlers in the vicinity of the cookpot in Middle Enosia. I will depart immediately to assess the situation. Seek me out once you arrive. My love for Shadowbringers. Yeah. My love for Shadowbringers comes genuinely from the story and from the characters. The story is like insanely good. And that's what I want out of a Final Fantasy game. An insanely good story. And I feel it's something that Final Fantasy games have been lacking in very recent years. I could state some unpopular opinions that I don't think 13, 15, 12 were very good games. I also didn't particularly care for 10, which I know is a blasphemous statement, but it is how I feel. Let's do it. I am Forcia Kalia, of Melivan's Gate. You are to seize all transgressions and surrender your goods for inspection. Nasty sneaky peekers, gobby spit, unblander, nosy nose on stabby iron. I know, people love 10. For a lot of people, 10 is their first Final Fantasy, which is like super fair. And if you love it, by all means, it's not a bad game, but it was different in a lot of ways. In ways that I didn't care for, but I understand 100% why people love Final Fantasy X, and it's not a knock to it. It's just not a game that is close or near and dear to my heart. A predictably aggressive response. Very well, Akali. Remember what we discussed. Oh, a sprite. Ori's kind of close to that. Or do you mean like... If you're talking about Jaina, are you talking about like a fairy? Where is the other girl? Oh, she left. Oh, I see, I see. She's not really a sprite, but the girl in Child of Light. I would check out Child of Light. I enjoyed that game a lot. Nicely done. Adaption, improvisation. I might have been observing our beloved guildmaster himself in action. This was the perfect example of how strategy for a given task should be tailored to the abilities of the assessor. In other words, before you begin formulating your tactics, it is necessary to fully understand your own strengths and weaknesses. This is true. On that note, there is another question I would ask of you. When it comes to improving the probable success of a strategy, do you consider it more effective to concentrate on playing to your strengths or shoring up your weaknesses? Enhancing my strengths. Oh, again you respond as the Guildmaster once did. I must revise the probability of your potential to gain greatness to 97%. You are one to keep an eye on, that much is certain. But to return to the subject of battle plans, your calculations must include an accurate assessment of your available techniques and their relative effectiveness. This requires you to be critically aware of your own limits, the limits of your allies, and the characteristics of your enemies. I believe that covers everything for today. Please return to the guild and make your report to Mistress Jim. Until next we meet. I shall abide here until the Yellow Jackets arrive to take the peddlers into custody. My strategies will keep me company. Yeah, I think the closest I would say in getting to a sprite, and though he doesn't look like Tinkerbell, would be Ori. Ori in the Blind Forest. He is considered a sprite of some kind. And then you use a wisp to fight. And you fight big monsters in the second one. But that is like the absolute closest I think you could get to. He's very small and he fights very big things. Ori is adorable. That game made me cry many times. That game also made me cry many times. I think more than Ori itself did. Like the original. There's tears for days. It just doesn't stop punching you in the stomach. Back from the field, Akali? Kalia contacted me with a summary of events. It seems you were treated to a lecture on knowing thyself. That particular lesson is ordinarily taught only to intermediate practitioners. Without a sufficient store of combat experience from which to draw, it is difficult to fully appreciate the profundity of such seemingly simple truth. Nevertheless, I feel confident that you will soon be ready for a more ambitious assignment. Keep to your studies and maintain the razor edge of your mind. So there's nothing more I can do as an Arcanist because it's not fun to watch me grind levels for long periods of time. And so I will move myself along to the Cooking Guild. Because I think there's stuff I can do over there. And then we will do dungeons. Well, then we'll do Lancer and then we'll do dungeons. And maybe I should check out Ninja 2. I actually don't know if I have anything to do for them. What? Oh, that makes sense. Fair enough, sir. There we go. Legath wants you to speak with Ingem, who he suspects has botched another order. Well, if it ain't young Akali, and judging by the burns on your hands, you've been working hard at your cooking, good on you. You're an inspiration to your peers, lass, especially Ingem. Aye, so he's been working like a man possessed since the business with the grilled dodo. Not that it's made much difference. Truth be told, I'm convinced he's made a pig's ear of things again. I know. You know who I am. He hasn't told me as much, mind, but it's writ plain on his face. I tried to pry the story out of him and see if there's aught I can do, but he bites his tongue when I'm around. Stubborn sod. And he wrote, I was thinking, might be as an open up to one of his peers, and seeing how you had such an effect on him, I reckon you might just be the last for the job. So do us a favor and coax a story out of him, would you? Oh, and lend him an hand if he needs one. What'd you fuck up now, sir? So you just counting beans over here. You again? What have you come for this time? Oh, I see. The guildmaster has you spying on me now. He thinks that I'm incompetent and can't be trusted to do my own work. Who am I fooling? If Master Langa thinks I'm incompetent, it's because I am. With me, it's one bungled order after another. It shames me to reveal this to you of all people, but I've offended one of Bismarck's regular. The man, Maga, is his name. He's a soft spot for meat macabres, and so I thought I'd impress him with a complimentary skewer. Only to have his expression turn sour the instant he took a bite. I'll never forget the steel in his voice when he said he would have words with the management. I meant to add luster to the Bismarck's proud reputation. Instead, I tarnished it. I want to set things right, but I don't know how. Matemaga's still out there on the terrace, but I just can't bear facing him again. Not this soon. Gods, what am I to do? I'll talk to him. I ain't afraid. Look at this man. Huh? No, I shan't be ordering anything else. I see you're still here. Let me guess. You've come to apologize on behalf of that sorry excuse for a chef who made that god-awful meat macabre. Well, I'm afraid the damage has been done. I have been served second-rate food at the Bismarck. It is only right the man responsible should be dismissed, and I mean to see that he is. Do not mistake my intention. I do this solely to preserve the Bismarck's good name. Were it to become known that Legolas was employing services of inferior chefs, this once fine establishment would soon fall to disrepute. You've yet to speak a word, but I take it you are not pleased with my evaluation. Very well. If you would have me believe that this incident was an aberration and not, in fact, indicative of a general decline in standards, I suggest you convince me with your cooking. I will not have it said that I am an unreasonable man. Make me another meat macabre, one fit for consumption this time, and I shall reconsider my stance. Where is my meat kebab? The other fellow's attempts may have been unpalatable, but at least I did not have to wait for it. You want this meat kebab that's been sitting in my pocket for like a week? Yeah, you do. Ah, here it is, finally. Unless you have any objections, I shall sample it in your kitchen. That way I can treat Legolas, to my opinion, with the flavor still fresh upon my palate. Ah, well, it would seem you have made amends for your fellow chef's failure. This is moist and flavorsome. This is as moist and flavorsome a meat kebab as I have ever tasted, and I've tasted more than I can count. As a matter of fact, I consider myself something of a connoisseur of the dish, and know more than a little about its preparation. Would you like me to tell you what I think your colleague did wrong? First of all, in his eagerness to seal the meat's moisture, he left it searing for far too long, producing something akin to charcoal. Not so with your dodo. Its surface is charred just enough to be aromatic, while the middle is still moist. Second, your friend grilled all the ingredients together, even though tomato and paprika require far less time over the fire than meat. To your credit, you did not fall into this trap. Last but not least, your friend was heavy on the salt. Those with underdeveloped palates may beg to differ, but the harmony of sweet and sour and salty that makes the meat kebab and yours, my friend, struck the perfect balance. Which brings me to my conclusion. I was wrong to assume that the quality of your colleague's dish was indicative of a general decline in standards. It would seem the Bismarck's reputation is in no immediate danger. Thus reassured, I shall forget about the incident. Master Legolas has done well to train such a capable culinarian. I pray you continue honing your skills under his tutelage. That man has done nothing. I have taught myself. I have sat on this floor and cooked pies for days. This man has just stood here, and sometimes he gives me a frying pan. I think so. They all, people in the Ocean have like this weird accent, and I stumble over my words constantly trying to say their dialect. Ah, Akali, just the woman I was looking for. Words already reached me ears about what you got up to while I was away. To hear 'em tell it, you single-handedly restored old Matema's faith in the Bismarck. For that, ye have me gratitude, lass, and Ingham's too. I am told to thank you in person, but he's too bloody proud. Don't hold it against him, though. Eh? I've already forgiven the daft sod. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I ain't never been one to give none of mine the axe for buggering up a dish or three. There's no denying our patrons are important, but they ain't the main reason for being here. Nay, my first duty is the training of culinarians, and even in the good name of this restaurant suffers for it, you won't see me shedding no tears. You know why, lass? 'Cause it's the people what ultimately make the place, and none more in anything else. It's the passion for cooking that I always want to bring out. Truth be told, there's only one reason I send a man away, if he stopped wanting to be a culinarian. Of course, I doubt that's something that'll ever apply to you. In the short time you've been here, you've already proven yourself more incapable. And as long as you keep your nose to the stove, you're only gonna get better. I look forward to seeing what you're capable of and tasting it for good measure. Ooh. I think I need to get rid of... I actually don't think I have a belt at all. No, I do. Oh, I need this top. Please give it to me. Oh, look at me. I look real cute. Langeth is concerned about the health of a certain guild member. Oh, you do it, Collie. Been taking care of yourself last. Remember, if you ain't got your health, you ain't got nothing. Speaking of health, one of our lot ain't been his normal self of late. Divin' Dove's their speaking name, and she's having a bit of trouble letting go, judging by the grimace she's been wearing. I told the poor woman she should take better care of herself, but she'll barely leave the kitchen for anything, which is probably how the problem came about. Now I come to think of it. Any roads? It ain't sorting soon. I'm worried she'll bust. Do you know what a pixie plum is, lass? 'Tis a fruit who's native to Corthus, and just the thing to help solve Divin' Dove's problem. Trouble is, they're as bitter as sin when fresh, which is why plenty of chefs won't cook with the things. Of course, what they don't know is you can't get rid of old bitterness by drying them. Better still, doing so brings out their natural sweetness without affecting their other properties, giving rise to the noble treat that is the dried plum. Now, I would have made these myself, but we ain't got no plums at the moment, and I can't very well leave me post to go and get 'em, so I needs you to do the procuring and the making in me stead. You can pick the plums in the wilds if you're fond of foraging. Failing that, take a gander at the market board, West Arca's alley. Oh, and once the dried plums are ready, see that Divin' Dove eats 'em, would you? Aye. You might want to avoid letting on about the whys and wherefores, touchy subject and all that. Let's see. I definitely don't have any plums on me, so I'm gonna have to go buy them. And I hope they're cheap. Plum. Oh, beans. Pixie plum. These are not cheap. That's what I want. Why? These proc off each other now? What the hell? Oh no, I'm gonna fail! I wasn't paying attention. Wow. Oh, I got my stuff back. Sweet. I don't actually need to do this. I was just doing some tomfooleries. Oh, the fish. I don't think there's another quest for fish, if it makes you feel better. I might actually need Carly Q to get some fish at some point. This is not where I wanted to go at all. Whoop. You want me to give you an opinion on your handiwork? Well, my dodo won't need turning for a little while, so I suppose I can spare a moment. Let's go to the upper floor. Oh, these are lovely. What kind of fruit did you say they were? Pixie plums? Well, I never. There isn't a hint of bitterness about them. The drying process rids them of that, you say? I had no idea. In truth, the only thing I did know about pixie plums is that they're a traditional remedy for... Now look here, we've barely exchanged 2 words since you joined this guild, and here you are being presumptuous. What? It was the guildmaster's idea? Oh gods, the man has no decency. This is an outrage, invasion of my privacy, unforgivable and strangely moving. As busy as I am not so busy as Master Legath, yet somehow he finds the time to look after his many charges while I can scarcely spare a moment to look after myself. I've been working so hard, but maybe effort is not the answer. Perhaps I just need to relax a little. Thank you for the gift, and I promise to take better care of myself in the future. I do need new pants. Nice. Because my new pants are gonna ruin my whole outfit. Yup. How purple though? Legath still appears to be concerned about Diving Dove's health. Great time in the Kali. Just so happens I have a task for what will test your ingenuity in the kitchen. Diving Dove's looking a lot less tense thanks to your dried prunes, but she's still a bit on the pale side for my liking. Woman needs some red meat in her if you ask me, and I want you to cook it. A nice big Adalgit steak should put some color back in her cheeks. Thing is, Diving Dove doesn't care much for the meat. Algoat's tough as leather, you see, and it's got a pretty pungent flavor to boot. Islanders just about the only folk who enjoy it. Safe to say you'll need to do something about the texture and taste if you want Diving Dove to eat your Algoat steak. Got that? Good. Now run along, eh? Oh my god. Algoat steak. And I need garlic, salt, and meat. And I should be able to... Give me the garlic. Give me that garlic. Thank you. The meat should be super cheap on the market board, though. For real, though. If not, I could go kill a whole bunch of goats out in the wilderness. No problem. Is that not what it's called? ALD goat chunk. There has to be chunks on the meat in market board. Oh, it's chunk, not chunks. Yeah, I understand. It just occurred to me. Listen, reading is incredibly difficult. I don't need fish. I will need fish probably later. I was trying to remember what, There might be fish I need later. Way later. You don't have to go now. But thank you for logging on with the intent to fish. There she is. No, I don't. I think your character is very cute. I'm being accused of a dislike towards Vieira. Your character is very cute. I've told you how I feel about the Vieira. She leaves. I know. My problem with Vieira is they are incredibly limited. They have their own special hairstyles, and they can't use like the rest of the in-game hairstyles, even the ones like you pay for and earn. They can't use any of them. They can't wear hats. They can't wear most hats. They have very limited facial features and just everything. Everything about them is very limited. God, I think they have like 9 hairstyles. And so my problem with Vieira is that every Vieira you see has like the same 2 hairstyles because they're the best looking hairstyles, and then the exact same faces because most of their faces aren't very good. And so you get every Vieira I see looks identical to the other, like to every other Vieira I've ever seen. And that's fine. It's just they were rushed, and they were admittedly rushed. So they are just, the Vieira in this game as they are right now are just not for me. And I hope they get fixed and updated and worked on a bit. That's not to say that I think your Vieira is ugly cute. She's not. She's very pretty. Oh, I didn't mean... Now I feel really bad. That's not your fault, though. I think she's pretty. I hope you don't feel bad. Now I feel bad. Like my opinion. I'm almost done cooking these steaks. Look at her. Once Vieira have more options, I think they'll be a lot better. They're just too limited. Well, I cooked 1,000 steaks. How many steaks did I cook? I didn't go to the right place. Because I clicked the buttons too fast. $219 plus 27. That's a lot of steaks. Don't worry, I got that. I got the meat. You like my opinion on a dish? Very well. What do you have for me? Oh, is this what I think it is? If so, I must warn you that I am not particularly fond of Altgoat. My evaluation may not be most objective, but if you insist... My word, are you certain this is Altgoat? It's not chewy in the slightest. You've done a fine job of tenderizing the meat, I must say. What's more, I can scarce make out the pungent flavor. It remains, to be sure, but it's somehow pleasant, more almost delicious when complemented by garlic. Being rich in iron, algoat is supposedly good for you, but its texture and taste leave a lot to be desired. Which is why I've always loathed the stuff. How ironic that you should choose me of all people to sample you. Wait a minute, this is another one of the Guildmaster's schemes to nurse me back to health, isn't it? Why that interference? I said I would take better care of myself, didn't I? Apparently he thinks he knows better. Humph. At any rate, it is nothing to detract from your achievement. You've made me change my mind about Allgoat, and that's no small coup. No chief in my native Ul'dah would have gone to such lengths to make the meat appealing. That would have been dismissed as fairly low fare, unworthy of their time. Ul'dah cuisine is the true product of life, if in the Sultanate, you see, rife with pomp and pretense. I began my career there, but soon grew wary of the charlatan masquerading as gourmands. To hear them speak, one would assume that gold leaf was an essential part of every meal. That is why I came to Limsa Lominsa. And thank the gods that I did. Here the people's love of cuisine is simple and pure, and it shows in the dedication of our guild members. Not a day goes by that I don't count myself fortunate to have given the opportunity to work alongside a fine culinarian like you. I've lost my ears, but that's okay. It's a temporary loss. And then let me see. Is there anything? Where you go? Is there anything for me over here? Yes, I have to turn in my quest. Let me in. You looking to head inside? Yes. Jackie. Done with your milling, are ya? You can never have enough blades to practice, lass. In fact, I'll add you to lift some marks on your hunting log. Pit yourself against the lot, and soon you'll see some new steps for your dance with the daggers. Aye, you must be thinking yourself as a dancer, not a bleeding butcher. You only need so much force to ram a short blade into the hilt. Precision and speed, that's how you get most out of your stabbers. Bulky armor will only leave you podlin and likely to ungate. Oh my god, Jack, I cannot say anything that comes out of your mouth. Precision and speed, that's how you get the most out of your stabbers. Bulky armor will only have you plodding about like an ungainly ogress, so make sure you're wearing gear that'll let you move freely as well. Alright, get your blade work up to scratch, Akali, and I might just have a job for ye. I am not level 5. That I did not practice with, I worked on Arcanist today, so that'll do it. I'm gonna have the same problem with Lancer. Well, absolutely, but we'll go turn it in anyway. Actually, you should focus more on Lancer. Need to get it up before patch 2.4. Pardon me, excuse me. So you are back. I trust you've learned something in the essence of our art. A Lancer learns best when he is doing, each thrust making him stronger. Such things as strategy and technique will come in time. And never forget courage. Without it, you cannot hope to realize your potential. Your look betrays no hint of doubt. That as well. It is clear that you see the truth in my words. That will be all for the present. Now take up your weapon, sally forth, and cut a path for yourself. When next we meet, I hope you see, I hope to see you stronger for your time out in the world. Thank you. Okay. I need to switch back to White Mage. And now I have things things and stuff to do. You're one of Aline's, aren't you? That one's got a ghost in her attic, you know. Keeps sending one other adventurers to the damn place she calls a palace, thinking you're going to bring her feller back. 'Twas 7 of us that day, one of 'em her feller. My best friend was another. Soon as we walked in, a toneberry attacked. It was dark, and we couldn't get purchase on the floor. 'Twas covered in lake slime, and then in blood. What's more to say? Only Aline and I made it out by the grace of the 12. Everyone else is dead. Think I'd leave him behind? Leave my brother by another blood? As if I hadn't seen what that toneberry left. I saw no treasure there, only death. I've said my piece. You still want to see it for yourself? That's your business. I'll ferry you there, for my adventuring days are over, and I'm a boatman of this lake. She thinks they'll all live, you see, all 5 of 'em, hiding from the toneberry somewhere in the palace. She tried to flee the infirmary. She told folk about her friends needing rescue. Then she got sly. Poor lost Aline. Ooh. Well, shit. I do need a new ring. Alright. Dungeon time, which will be the next couple hours, I think. Kind of. It's an old Final Fantasy thing. Back when things were a little more 2D, you could click on a button and make the arrows point towards entrances and exits. Or no, the arrow pointed to you, and there was these little red triangles that would point to entrances and exits if you couldn't find them on like the painted 2D backgrounds. And the arrow would help keep track of where you were in the zone. It's Final Fantasy VII had it for sure. I think 8 did as well. The Wanderer's Palace. That's fine. Come on, DPS, you can do it. Or perhaps you can't. This looks like a big tough warrior. In Scavian gear? Yes, indeed. What's happening here? Oh, that's a big boy. Look at this boy. Isn't he neat? Oh, I see poison. Does it really? I've never played Guild Wars 2. The same vibes. Neat. Maybe I should check it out. I hear Guild Wars 2 is very grindy. That is the quest. That's fair. So the tome berries, you collect the lantern when, you collect the oil from their lanterns when they die. And you turn off or on these devices. Oh, my spleen. You can't fight the big tomeberries, they just stab you and take half your health. Oh, I'm dying. Don't stab me. It is. No. He wants my nuggies. I know. They're very scary. Their blank, soulless eyes. Oh. What? Oh, they just went without me. They do know I died, right? Alright, well, cool. I don't have any MP to deal with this. And you left me with a tomeberry. Oh. How would you not even wait for me? Anyway, I want that treasure chest. Please stop. Well, now they have to wait for me because they're all fucking dead. What is this whole situation of not waiting? It's like baffling to me. This ninja, or whatever this is, a dragoon, like running way ahead of the tank. It's crazy irritating too. Yeah, no kidding. They're gonna start the boss fight without me. I'd put money on it. Yeah, they did. They did actually start the fight without me. Hello, hello. I know. The little berry boys. I will greed these, because I will probably need them at some point. I didn't get anything out of here. Just grief and death. Roll on the loot. Oh my god, I got beaten on the minion by 7 points. Roll on the dagger. I also didn't win that, apparently. Well, fuck everything. No, I did. I still have a chance. My 18. Yeah, that's right. You can give me that. Daisuke Fujiwara. This is true. That doesn't mean I have to like it. The abuse. When will it end? Oh, I need to do myself a favor. If this is the dungeon that I think it is. So flying in here is cool now, because this is the Temple of Ampador, which is what we are about to go into. And I can oh, I can't quite run around it. This is the dungeon we're about to go into. How close will it let me get? Pretty close, honestly. Here, at Nedric's recommendation, then you must not be without skill. That said, it is my duty to warn you of the dangers that await. The fortress was built by the Ampadori, an ancient people who rose to power upon arcane knowledge. During the heyday of their civilization, they built magnificent structures such as this. Alas, the splendor has long since faded from into memory, and the keep has become a lair for the Lambs of Dalmad, a doomsday cult. Some of the cultists have even succeeded in summoning Voidset, and we, Woodwheelers, welcome capable adventurers who would be willing to keep their numbers in check. Okay, we will do this in just a hot second. I need to do me a favor. And that is upgrade some of my gear. I should just be blacklisting like crazy. I don't do it as often as I should. Usually, unless someone says something like super racist, or like is just an awful person to be with in chat, I don't usually punish ignorance. Goodbye, thank you for stopping by. There we go. That will help me a lot. Okay. So Ampador, I do believe, if memory serves me correctly, housed the white magic. And there was their rivals, whose name I can't remember, that did the black magic. Oh, Ampador and... Oh my god, why can't I remember it? It's like on the tip of my tongue. Ampador and... Starts with an M, I think. Yeah, there we go. Muffler window. It's not Validesian. Oh yeah, it just is not going to come to me. There was two rival cities in the 4th astral era. It's one of those. And the ones that pertain to the black magic foresaw a great flood, and so they built themselves a giant flying ark. And the big flood was the calamity. The 4th astral calamity. I got stuck on a rock. I like this tank's outfit. Yeah, look at that. I don't know what outfit that is. Oh, I think that's PvP. I'm pretty sure. It looks very nice though. People complain a lot about how the PvP in this game isn't particularly good. And no, it's not a very big scene. I think it's a lot of fun though. But people really, really hate it for whatever reason. It used to be pretty, not broken, but insanely unbalanced. So you have the three factions in Final Fantasy XIV. You have the Adders, the Maelstrom, and then the Flames, and you get to pick one of those flames. And so how it used to be was that you would fight in PvP factions. So you would fight against the Adders and the Flames. It was just for funsies. On the fields of Carthano that are under debate from everybody. Yeah, so you would just fight like those other factions. The problem being that one faction was way better than the other two. Like, it was actually horrific how much better like some factions were than others. It was actually the Maelstrom that was the better faction, and everyone else sort of just died continuously. But what really made things change was there was a PvP event. Oh beans. There was a big PvP event from... they're not super familiar in the Americas, but it was they called it the Garu event, which is like Sentai stuff. And you had to win PvP matches on your faction to get these mounts and stuff. And it was insanely hard if your faction was really bad. So what a lot of people ended up doing was they would bail on their faction, because you can change, and they all joined the Maelstrom, because the Maelstrom would always win. And then I never left the Adders. I'm still on the Adders on my main account. And so what eventually ended up happening was that the Maelstrom queue times were so long, and there weren't enough people to fill the slots of the other PvP factions. And so I have gone into matches where there was only 4 of us, when there should be 24 on every faction, 24 players on every faction. And there would just be 4 of us sometimes, because there weren't enough people in our factions, because everyone switched to the winning faction. So then the Maelstrom got so bloated down by the long queue times that nobody could like get their wins, and then the other teams didn't have enough players, and it was like super insufferable. And so they changed it now where you play on a random faction regardless of what your actual faction is, and the wins will count towards that faction. So if you get like 100 wins, I think, on your faction, you get the horse. You get like a horse with the adder symbol on it. So the adder's horse is like a plain brown horse, but he's got really nice armor. And the flames horse is actually very cool. Don't die. He's got like a white mane and stuff, and I don't know what the Maelstrom horse looks like at all. Yeah, so now, if you play regardless of what faction you end up on, so say I queue into PvP and I get on the flames. As long as the flames win, it will still count as a point towards my adder horse. As long as I remain on the adders. Which it isn't as fun, but stops people from doing what they did. But now that that PvP event is over, nobody PvPs really anymore. Most people just do their dailies for their MMO stuff that you need to do and then leave it. Yeah, honestly, they ruined it for everybody, honestly. I knew people that tried to do that. So that's what you get for not being loyal to your factions. But yeah, I ended up being able to. I didn't realize when they said the event was finally leaving. I think I spent a solid month PvPing my absolute heart out. I had to get the faction wins, and then there was something called the Feast, which is 4v4. Factions don't matter, and oh my god, it was an absolute bloodbath. And I played the dancer class on that, and I just ripped apart people. It's just tore through them like they were paper. And then, if you got enough wins in front lines and feast, you got the third horse, which was, he's the most beautiful horse. It's got, peacock featheries and stuff. And then I got all the titles and all the gear and all the ugly weapons. It's true. I desire mounts. It's gotten to the point where the only mounts that I'm missing, like I'm missing quite a few mounts. Oh, lilies. Are the ones from previous PvP seasons, because those are really hard to get. You need like a team, and you need to have people actually doing that, doing the feast, and so those are the ones I'm missing. There will just never be anything for me. Never, ever. I'm missing a couple of dragons from the newest EXs. I am missing what else am I missing? Missing the Mentor Roulette horse, some of the PvP mounts that you can just get by doing and winning PvP, which is easier said than done. I think that's it. There's not too many mounts that I don't have at this point. This is a fun little bizarre statistic, and I don't think it's, because quite a few mounts have come up that I have not gotten, as in the recent months, but I was looking for something on my character, my main character in Google, and I don't know why, and, there was a list of, people on the server that I play in who have the most mounts on the server, and I was number 17, I think, at the time. I was like, damn. Got a lot of mounts. I could. Server famous. People do fashion contests and stuff. No, I don't do the fashion shows usually. I always tend to forget. I'm busy doing something else. You better move, you're gonna die. That man stood in every AoE. I was not going to rescue him. All he had to do was move slightly to the side and he would have been fine, but he chose to get hit every single time. I do want that. That's a healing staff for me. I don't think it's very good to look at. Oh, it's spooky. Now that everyone's gone, we have to go on a rescue mission. They're mad that I didn't heal them. Oh no, don't do that. How are you gonna stand in every AoE and expect me to heal you? That's not how I play this game. They were also concussed by every hit, so my healing spells wouldn't have even done that much to them. It takes 0 seconds to... well, it does take time. So you miss 1 GCD by moving out of the way. All you had to do was move once. Chose not to, though. They didn't even move out of the big AoE explosion. Just wasn't gonna happen. They also have Mana Ward, so... let's shield. Yeah, they were mad. Well, now you're dead, and so... it is how it is. Everyone always misses this treasure chest, but it takes no effort to get. And now that minion is mine. What next? There's a ton of stuff in... I'll come back for you, outlandish man. Oh. This man is important, and we will get to him probably next week. Not today. Lorene of Reverence Toll looks as if she's seen a ghost. Aha! Forgive me, friend. A most chilling encounter has my nerves on edge. I was traveling through the shroud when a man accosted me out of nowhere, his eyes darting widely in fear. He spoke of a haunted mansion from which the tortured screams of young maidens can be heard day and night. Hawkett Manor, was it? Ah, Hukake Manor. Yes, that's... yeah. What's that? You purged the self-same manse of its unholy inhabitants some time ago? That is curious indeed. The man recounted the events as if they'd happened not days ago. While it would put my heart at ease to know this tale was but a fancy born of few too many flagons of mead, the poor soul had not the air of a drunk or a liar. Perhaps you know someone who could shed light on the matter? Ooh. I almost knocked my lamp over. What else you got for me? Lorraine looks at you with an appraising eye. A wayfarer like yourself must be privy to all manner of tales, yes? So tell me, what do you know of the adventurers who purged the cultists from the ruins of Ampador Keep? It's me. I did that. What? It was you who did the deed? Then you are just the person I have been seeking. There is a man I would have you lend an ear to, a hero known as Adestian. He dwells in Camp Tranquil, from where he surveys the 12 Wood. Of late, he has sensed dark stirrings in the Ampador Keep, and would speak with one who has braved the ruins already. But I shall put no more words in Brother Estien's mouth. Pray attend him the South Shroud. If you give him my name as proof of your intent, he will not withhold a single detail of what he has observed. As Besling eyes you from the corner, you get the impression that he has a dangerous task in mind. You're a Kalyana by the Onion, the very woman I seek at Dwyworsted's behest. How do I know the pot banger? Well, we trained together in the Culinarians Guild. He has a place in Costa del Sol now, the Flying Shark. Not the sharpest knife on the block, as dry as the daft, but he's loyal. He's got a friend out there whose name of Westcat, and he seems to be in need of your help. Let's say you go look him up, eh? Buzzwing has a satisfied look of a man who has found what he seeks. You're a Kalyana by the Onion. I was hoping you'd come by. I've got a message from an old friend of mine. Needs your help for an important task, he says. It's highly confidential business, so I can't give you his name. Let's just say he's well known in Limsa. Odds are you'll recognize him. Any road, I'm not at liberty to divulge any more. If you've a mind to take on the task, head over to Limsa and seek out a bloke named Denston. That's not my friend, mind you, but one of his men. Bezwing has a favor to ask of you on behalf of an old friend. By the Onion, you're a collie! You couldn't have come at a better time. A friend of mine sent word that he needs a capable adventurer, you see, and I naturally thought of you. Who's the friend, you ask? Why, none other than Commodore Reiner of the Yellow Jackets. He and I met back when I first started out as a culinarian, and we've been friends ever since. This man knows everybody. Any road, I'd appreciate it if you pay him a visit, inquire to know what he needs doing. You'll find him in the Crystal Tower in the Yellow Jackets. Boyswing seems to have always only for you. Good day to you, my wayfaring friend. Say, you wouldn't happen to be the woman who slew the Toneberry King, would you? I am indeed. I knew it by the Onion. I've a fine gent for you, looking for you, that is. He has an appraising proposal on the table, and I think you should pay him a visit. He is the one of the treasure hunters at Camp Brownslake. Oh, and he will of course be there with his partner. The two are inseparable, but I'll let them tell you more themselves. Well, off to Lenosia with you. Hugobert of Reverence Toll has news he would share with the strictest of confidence. I've seen more and more visitors in this godforsaken place lately, most of them battle-hardened tapes looking for a worthy test of their mettle. I trust I might count you among them? Look, you didn't hear this from me, but the word has it that Coppermill mines are looking not unlike the 8th hell in recent days. The stone torches would have us believe that they have a matter under control, but a minor acquaintance of mine would beg to differ. He says the torches have proven far more adept at quelling rumors than Heconchevers, if you catch my drift. Why do I betray this knowledge to you? I fear for my friend's life and mine own as well should those hulking monstrosities break free to the surface. If it's a challenge you seek, what say you accidentally find your way to Copperbell and proffer your services? Hugobert has a word of great deeds being done in Hatali and would share with you the tales of triumph. An adventurer who can hold her own in battle. It just so happens that I've gotten word of a new challenge of one of your talents. It requires a bit of travel and a dash of heroics, but it'd be worth your while. Even Thalen's lovely this time of year. You've heard of a training grounds in Hatali, I'd wager? The place fell into disuse after the calamity, but some adventurers or another put it to rights. Its owners aim to train gladiators and adventurers once more, just as the old days. A little paint, a little mass burial, and now the place is ready to take on challengers. If you're at all keen on the notion, go and talk to my friend Adair down there. He'll get you to the door. Few things can match the ire of a brother riled, and how much greater the anger when there are two of them. There's an intruder's ant, an adventurer in need of a bit of business, if I'm not mistaken. The anthill you want is the Amalja and Sons mineral concern. Something's kicked it over good. They've put out word for adventurers. Have skill, will move fast, that sort of thing. Perfect for you, I warrant. The client, bit of a handful, might aggressive, but nothing you can't handle. The twins. You'll find them at the Miners Guild. Talk to Cesaruka. He's the middler of the two. I don't think I'm gonna do those two. The daughters of Ishgard have a wintry gaze, but Felicia looks upon you with something very much like favor, alloyed with a certain urgency. I seek a certain adventure for a cause most just. Are you not a collie? Ha! I thought you had the right aspect. 'Twas you who played the thief in the night at the stone vigil. The dragons guard their keep jealously, it said, yet you slipped unseen into the cloudy fortress. 'Twill not be their keep much longer, however. The forces of Ishgard amassed by the sea of clouds. Now this is for your ears only, but the blockade is but a prelude to an attack. Lord Drillamont commands the siege, but he would have your counsel. I am but one of many who seek you at his behest. You must be a woman of rare quality. The proud knights of Dunedere are not accustomed to talking, let alone seeking outside help. Ishgard is the cradle air I breathe, and yet I yearn to see the stone vigil reclaimed from the Dravanian horde. Will you not go to Whitbrom Front and aid Lord Drillamont? Okay. And I need to go to Ulda to wrap some of this stuff up. Some of these are going to be too hard to do with my current gear set. Like, way too hard to do. So it's a matter of sort of figuring it out. Oh, we absolutely have to do the rise and the fall of the gentleman. Holy shit. An old acquaintance of one is at his wit's end, and the business one would have you help her. I hear you've been busy being a collie. Seems half the whispers that come my way relate to your commons and goings. Being the active type you are, I reckon you'd be interested in investigating some queer rumors, am I right? Before that, let me ask, ever heard of a man named Hildebrand? No. To hear him tell it, he was Eorzea's greatest and most famous inspector. Still, can't say I'm surprised you don't know him. To his credit, Hildebrand and his assistant had a knack for showing up when something shady was afoot. As for sussing out the culprits, well, he had his moments, though I hesitate to give him sole credit. Any road, 5 years ago he gets it in his head that he's cracked the code of Mayez's 7th verse. Dalamat, the calamity, all of it can be stopped, he says, so long as he finds the hero of prophecy. And would you know it, that hero was Hildebrand himself. So he flies off towards Dalamat. Aye, that's right, he flew, launches himself straight into the air somehow, ridiculous as it sounds. Of course, it's only logical that he'd come back down, though it was only recently that we found his body. I had reason for bringing this up. Ah, right, so Nashu, Hildebrand's erewhile assistant, has since become an inspector in her own right. At present, she's investigating the queer rumors I mentioned earlier. She's a sweet lass, a bit daft, but sweet nonetheless. So when I hear she's at her wit's end, I want to help. Thing is, I prefer not to meddle in the affairs of the livin'. Zombies are most definitely not my forte. So if you're willing, I'd be grateful if you lend her a hand. As for where to find her, she's like to visit Hildebrand's grave in the Lich Yard, where she's frustrated. Try looking for her there first. Oh my god. So maybe we will do some Hildebrand. Hildebrand was a... Oh, there they are. Hildebrand was in... I'm about to sneeze. Hildebrand was in Final Fantasy 1.0. And he was, just as they said, an inspector. And he convinced himself that he was a warrior of light. You were already a warrior of light in 1.0. But he's like, no, it is I. I am a warrior of light. And he shoots himself up into the moon and does in fact die. And this will all be relevant in the next few moments. He is an incredibly obnoxious man. Payo Rayo looks as though he has seen a ghost. If you do not remember Payo Rayo, he was one of the adventurers with Ida. They lost their tank, who was Ida's fiance, and they were very rude to her and told her to stop carrying her dead fiance's head around, and that she was a terrible healer and all that good stuff. So he was the, I don't know, little black mage or something. Payo Rayo, it looks as though he has seen a ghost. What? Huh? Why, you're a Kaliana, the most famous adventurer. Thank the gods for bringing you here. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Payo Rayo, one of the many faceless adventurers struggling to make their way in Eorzea. Forgive me if I sound bitter. I don't begrudge your renown. Your superiority as an adventurer was obvious to me long before you became a household name. Our paths crossed near Sastasha, you see. Hard to believe we moved in similar circles back then. Speaking of which, do you perchance remember having met a conjurer named Ida around that time? We used to adventure together, she and I, and 2 others. Our little group didn't last very long. Things fell to pieces when Aver, our leader and Ida's fiancé, met his end at the Tower Deepcroft. Harsh words were exchanged and we all went our separate ways. Since then, I've been getting by on my own. Truth be told, I hadn't planned on seeing my former comrades again, but then this letter arrived from Ida, containing an invitation to her wedding. I know what you're thinking. I should be happy for her, and I was, until I noticed the name of her groom-to-be. It was none other than Aver. What's more, the venue for the ceremony is to be the Tower Deepcroft, the very place the poor fellow died. Something isn't right, I tell you. Now, in the letter, Ida wrote that Levine, that's the fourth member of our group, had already agreed to attend. They chanced to meet each other recently, from what I could gather. Now, not knowing what to do to make of all of it, I thought it was wise to consult Levine about the whole strange affair before replying, but last I heard, she joined the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and I didn't have the first idea how to go about tracking her down. Not until the greatest Scion of them all appeared, that is. Could you tell me where I might find her? In the lich yard of the Church of St. Amada Lamada. I'm so sorry. I don't... Slain in the Imperial Raid, you say? By the 12, I had no idea. When did this happen? Well, the Black Wolf still lived. Then how can it be that Levine met Ida recently? Gods, I don't know what to believe. If it's not too much to ask, I would be most grateful if you'd show me Levine's grave. We didn't always see eye to eye, but she had a good heart, and if she's truly... Well, I need to pay my respects. Please meet me at the lich yard. I will go with him in just a hot second. I also need to go to the Miners Guild, which I do not have. Miners Guild is this way. Oh shit. I was looking at the blue mages over there. Someone is trying to bag themselves a corpse hubby, it seems. These two are from 1.0. They were mainish kind of characters. Heard about our petition, have you? And you'll do as we ask, no questions asked? Great attitude. Now then, the situation's like this. No, this isn't right. I'll be damned if I put our sister's fate in a stranger's hands. I'm going myself. Oh, brilliant plan, brother. Go blundering into the Sunken Temple of Karn. The place is a death trap. What guarantees do we have that this adventurer can beat those traps? None, that's what. But you know better than any what these muscles are capable of. What the hell do you mean you've beaten those traps already? Wait, you're the reason Nanako's in this trouble? I'm gonna end you, I swear it. Calm yourself, brother. This adventurer is not to blame for what happened. Besides, she's perfect for the task. Let's start again, shall we? I'm Sesaruga, and this is my twin brother, Pokaluki, and as you may have gathered, we need you to mount a rescue mission in the Sunken Temple of Karn. After you defeated the temple snares and traps, the place was officially open for research. The concern, partnered with our Order of Nathandel, is to fund an expedition. Hi, and the research team was led on by Nanako, our little sister. She's the one who wrote the book on the ruins of Seldea, the research to end all other research on the palace. Nobody except her was going to figure out that the Silda and Ulda are both descended from the Bralia-Dayan civilization. The Sunken Temple of Karn is the native rock. No way in 7 hells was she not going to lead that expedition. But who comes bumbling in? A band of relic raiders, that too. The greedy whore son set off a trap, and now our little sister is stuck in the stinking place. Pox, you bastards putting Nanako in danger. If they aren't Toneberry mints already, you can be sure that I'll end them myself. And that's the situation as it stands. Talk to Bimbu at the entrance of the temple, and she'll let you in. You go and get Nanako out of there in one piece, you hear? Okay, so let's do this first. Oh, what am I doing? I can fly. Okay. Yeah, I need her grave. The tombstone has been knocked over, and the earth before it disturbed. So this is where poor Levine now lies? What is the meaning of this? Not only is her grave defiled, her body is gone! Who could have done this? Oh no, could it have been Ida? The more I think about it, the more it makes me, well, I was going to say tense, but gods. I will try to explain. To the rest of us, our little party of 4 was but a means to riches and glory, such things as adventurers seek, but to Ida, it was her life. She blamed herself for Avera's death, and to our shame we agreed with her, though we knew full well we were all to blame, and then we left her where she stood with her fiancé's head for company. Ah, how could we have been so heartless? Small wonder if the poor girl has been driven from her wits. But what's done is done. All I can do is admit to our mistakes and make amends as best we can. Avera is gone, and so is Levine, but Ida refuses to accept it. She won't let go of the past. I know not what she means to do in Tamtara, but it can lead to no good end. I will attend this wedding and try to restore her senses. I would be much reassured if you would accompany me, Akali. As Zephyr once did, so too does Ida look up to you. So she may not listen to me, but she may yet heed the words of someone she admires. And failing that... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. If we hurry, it need not come to that. Please meet me in the Tamtara Deepcroft. Together, we'll put an end to whatever madness Ida is planning. There's... Nah, what's her name? Nashu is here too, but doing her is gonna start a cutscene. We're gonna do Tamtara first. Look at her. Isn't she cute? Okay. Tamtara Deepcroft is Bird Branch Meadows, I think? Yes. Ooh. So this weather is called tension, and that means that Odin is somewhere in Gridania. I believe his fate is hidden. And he can be in any Gridanian zone. Someone, I assume this man is looking for him. He's got the weaving and what. So Odin is and there's an actual Odin fight as well. But the Odin fate. Ooh, cool. The person that kills Odin, their character's face will be there the next time Odin appears. So it's very cool. A Lullafell in Thermitage. Just so happens fell like that went into the Deepcroft on a minute ago. There was a young lady with him, dressed head to toe in white. The last was all smiles and giggles, like a mating on her wedding day, but your friend looked stiff as a board. Can't say I blame him, though. Crypts do strange things to the best of us. You mean to head inside as well, do you? Well, take care you don't wake the dead, eh? Okay. I'm going to hope that my gear is fine. Actually... Temtara... 110. What was this one? 110. Okay, so it's no harder than... The Wanderer's Palace was really low level, right? No, it was all 110. Oh, average item level 45. You sink to 110. 45. 70. I think I'm like 80 something? 87. Alright, we're good here. This dungeon. I wonder if this group is going to let me read the notes on the floor. Probably not. If I was to hazard a guess. I do really want to read the papers on the floor. I finally mustered the courage to speak with your hero, my love. Akali is as kind and wise as she is brave and strong. She listens attentively as I told her all about you, about us. Though she is a woman of few words, or perhaps because she is everything she seemed to inspire me, why her gaze alone instilled me with a confidence that I never knew I had. Truly, I feel better prepared to face the future having met her. How right you were, my love. Scarcely a week has passed since we returned to the village, and already I cannot help thinking it was a mistake. There was a time when this place seemed just large enough, but having seen the wider world, it all feels insufferably confined, that I often find myself struggling for breath. I know that it is the same for you, my love. The only time I feel truly alive is when I'm adventuring with you. We are as caged birds in this backwater. So long as we remain here, we will never spread our wings and soar. So let us take the road and create a lifetime of wonderful memories together. Yeah. I don't have a DPS high enough for this, but I probably should have gone DPS. Because then it wouldn't matter if I wasn't there. Too much depends on me as it is. He cleaves, guys. I could not have hoped for a more romantic visit to Mordona. The crystals that pierced the landscape glowed in all their majesty, as if to celebrate our future together. And as we lazed at Silvertear Lake, watching the waves lapping at the shore, the sun took its leave behind the horizon, that we might enjoy a moment of intimacy. I want us to be together forever. You said these words to me years ago, and you said them to me again tonight. I am so happy to be with you. Anyway, there's Levine. She's been here the whole time. The tank doesn't have tank stance on, so we will probably die here. Super bad. Holy shit. So what you do in that fight is she spawns a whole bunch of guys, and you do not touch the guys because it creates a well, no, we all have 8 bone stacks. Can we not do this right this second and wait the 30 seconds? I'm just gonna hope that works out, and I'm going to read this note. You've been looking a bit deathly pale as of late. The scorching heat of Thanalan does not agree with you. You were never fond of hot climates, and it was a mistake to come here. Let us make for Korthus, where the bracing air will put roses on our cheeks. So, and then she targets someone, that person comes close to the tank, and then she kills her own ads, and nothing bad happens to us. But if for every ad you kill, you get a Vuln stack though. Vuln stacks increase the amount of damage you take. So when you have 8 of those, it's super bad. I don't know who to blame for what happened. But I am gonna blame the black mage, or the red mage. It was probably the red mage. Murder. Murder. I'm gonna go read this note while I have the time to do so. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, my love, but we cannot afford compromise, not when your new body is concerned. Ordinary adventurers die often enough, leaving their ordinary corpses. But if you are like a collie, we cannot settle for anything less than extraordinary. But a strong body requires a strong soul, as I recently discovered. Now you were probably worried that strong souls are rare, and so they are, but never fear, for we can create one ourselves. Alright. And they are, but never fear, for we can create one ourselves. All we need is a plentiful supply of the weaker kind, and they are common indeed. Be patient just a little longer, my love, and all will be as you desire. Good lord, I would just love to read these notes. And they know that I'm trying to read these notes. But still, they just continue acting a fool. I know, it's not easy being without a body. I promise to find you one for you, but you must have patience. You are my husband-to-be, and there is nothing I would not do for you, so please have faith in me. Give me time, my love, and I shall make you whole again, as you make me. You have to keep Papaya Rayo alive. She's going to use him to create a body for her husband. You have to eat these balls so that they don't damage him. You need to stand out of the darkness because that creates a bleed on you. The bleed. You understand, right? The dark is bad. Oh my god, please don't stand in the bleed. Bunch of us to eat that ball. Oh, he won't survive it. He's dying because you're putting the bleed there. Oh my god. So if he dies, it's over. Like, I work so hard every day. I should have rescued him away. I should have just taken matters into my own hands. People get so pissy when you rescue them. Or they run right back. Not being helpful to anyone. I think I pulled monsters. I did. Well, it was my turn to start causing problems. I don't have a spare benediction for if things go badly. Yeah, honestly. I pray for my own sanity, there just aren't any more notes. We sound like we're at the end anyway. Yep. She has been harvesting, Ida has been harvesting adventures for, because I had to read those all very quickly, but Ida has been harvesting adventures for their body parts, to create a body for her husband, or for her fiance. Don't mind me. I love tanking. That's why I'm here. There's his head. Look, Avere, all these people have come to make you a gift of their souls. Isn't that kind of them? Even Akali's here. Now your dream of becoming her can come true. I'm gonna do everybody a favor. They're so good. Oh boy. We've already been cleaved. What was that? They used the limit break, a tank limit break. For nothing. So if the groom's to be make it into her circle, if too many make it in, we die instantly. I don't think any more than 2 can make it in. It's very bad. What have you done? Avir! No! No. Nobody. Nobody gets anything. God. Yeah, we are not doing any more dungeons today. My heart can only take so much. My back can only take so much. Alright. Oh. Here we are. It's finally over. Would that it could have been different, but what choice did we have? Let this be my last act as an adventurer. I've done quite enough harm as it is. I mean to go home and live out my days and... Huh? No. It can't be. Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Oh, we did it. Okay. We will do some Hildebrand. Just a little. As a treat. And then we'll do more dungeons next week. It'll be a lot of dungeons for a chunk of time. Well, as many dungeons as I am geared to do. God, are we ready for this? I know I'm not. Oh, if only you were still alive, Inspector. You'd know how to stop these zombies. Ah, you there. Could it be? You've come to offer your services to me? Oh, but where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nashu, Agent of Inquiries, Extraordinary Inspector. At least that's what I'm trying to be. It's not quite as easy as he made it look. Inspector Hildebrand was a great man, a real Eorzean hero. We traveled the world, me and him, solving cases and thwarting evil. No matter the mystery, you could always count on the Inspector to solve it with grace and style. But then there was the final case. The case of the century, he called it. how to stop the red moon from destroying the world. To save us all, he flew into the sky, and all I could do was watch. But then he came back down and he... This is all a joke. A big, funny joke, right, Inspector? Any moment now, you'll burst onto the ground and shout, "Surprise! Had you fooled it?" And then we'll laugh and laugh. Hildebrand Manderville, beloved son. They say no one remembers the warriors of light, their names, their faces, all gone forever. But I remember you, Inspector. No, Gentleman Hero Hildebrand. I can never be the hero you were, but I'll do my best to try. I, Nashu, Inspector Extraordinaire, will carry on your legacy. So I told myself, well, Nashu, there must be a leader, a head zombie, who tells the rest what to do. Therefore, all you need to do is kill him. Again, that is. Unfortunately, I don't know where he is or how to find him. But now that you're here, my faithful assistant, you can try one good idea I've come up with so far. If you were to go to the dapper zombies that were last seen in southern Thanaland, you might find them. And then you could become their friend and ask to meet their leader. Yeah, that's sure to work. She just kept on talking while I had a vision. Didn't even notice. Oh, this isn't where I want to be. Where do I want to be? I have to participate in a fate? Oh my god. I forgot that sometimes they make you do fates to unlock stuff. Oh, you won't let me go over the mountains? Video game? Well, now we have to wait for this to spawn. Turn book. My goodness. My goodness. Well, while we wait for this to spawn, we might as well unlock that dungeon. We won't do it, but we might as well unlock it. They used to have fate unlocks constantly. It was so annoying. There's a very important quest that we'll do in a couple weeks' time, quest line called the Crystal Tower. And it is required for finishing the game, and I think they've just changed it so that it's required before even finishing A Realm Reborn completely, before moving into Heavensward, to be sure. And it used to have like 4 different fates that you had to wait for in random areas, and ugh. Ugh. Welcome to the stately ruin that was and is the Sunken Temple of Karn. What a relief that they actually sent someone who's been here and knows the drill. The twins, they can be a little overbearing, and they'll need some of that imperiousness soon enough, though, when it falls on them to run the concern. In case you don't know, those 2 are the chairman's progeny, them and Miss Neneko. You'll find it much changed within, thanks to those fool robbers. Take care, but not so much that you cannot make haste. Right? We're not gonna do that right now, though. What level are these quests by chance? I think I'm a little under-leveled on everything that I have. Yeah, unfortunate. Because we could do some side quests. Well, wait, it's up. No, it's not. Unless. No, it's not. I'm waiting for it to be down here. So there can only be so many fates on a map at a time, so you have to wait for some to wind down for others to spring about. So we got 6 minutes. I actually should pop that one so it starts and ends and stops taking up a precious slot. Where's the man? Where's the man that will start this quest? There he is. Yeah, sure. Alright, bye. Good luck. Will you help me? Yeah. And then it'll fail and everything will be fine. We can spawn new ones. Or it'll succeed. I don't really care one way or the other. How's that man doing? 28%. He's doing it all by himself. Well, I'm rooting for him. Oh shit, is this it? Yes! This is exactly what I needed. I'm too strong. Okay, here we go. Dun 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 dun. Stay away from me, Amalja. I'm busy. Oh, if you want to act like a fool, I'll treat you like a fool. Well, sure did do that. So, from the fancy zombies that we destroyed, we found a piece of parchment. Oh, I didn't use this. Writ upon this is the map of the Sagali Desert. In a flamboyant, flowing hand are the words, "A gentleman is rather than does." Did you find the zombies? You did! That's wonderful! I've been busy too. The head zombie will rule the day he meets me. You'll see. So tell me, what did you learn? Oh, so you weren't able to make new friends. That is a shame, but this parchment, this is a map of the Sagoli Desert. There's a spot marked here in the south, and looks like there's something written here. A gentleman is rather than does. That sort of reminds me of, well, no matter. Let's see where this map takes us, assistant. Onward to the Sagoli. That's just where I was. Is it? I don't think I misread the map. Maybe they're just shy, though. I say we call out to them and let them know we come in peace. And when the leader shows himself, we strike. A gentleman is rather than does. Oh, who summons the gentle dead men? They live, and we hunger. My brothers, lend me your ears. A gentleman does not dine upon his guests. Spare those two fair ladies your machinations. Withdraw, I say, and harass them no more. Up in the sky, look, it's a bird. No, it's an airship. No, it's the inspector. We hear and we obey. It is you! It really is you! I knew nothing could kill the great Inspector Hildebrand. Hildebrand? Who is this Hildebrand whom you speak? My name is Zombiebrand, a devourer of brains, undead overlord extraordinaire. What are you saying? You're not an undead overlord. You're a gentleman, Inspector. Inspector, overlord, Inspector, overlord. Oh, Inspector, you're just confused is all. Don't worry, I'll knock some sense back into that noggin of yours. Stay your hand, my lady. You know not what you do. Even if I were the esteemed gentleman you purport me to be, the conclusive force of that blast is more than likely to liquefy my... If crushing you into the ground made you forget, then an explosion of equal force ought to make you remember. I'll save you, Inspector, or kill you trying. See, even you acknowledge the possibility that this plan will result in my... death. Damn it. Normally I would applaud your ingenuity, Nashu, but I would have preferred that you found a more elegant solution. Oh, he remembers me! Inspector Hildebrand remembers me! Yes, yes, I remember you, my faithful assistant. What I do not quite remember is how I came to be here. Ah, such a wonderful dream. I slew a dragon and... what is this place? And for that matter, who am I? It's okay, man. Just come hang out with us. Stupid. I, Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, have awoken at last. I always knew you'd come back to us. Be it Red Moon or Black Dragon, no fiend has a match for my legendary might. And who might this fine lady be, She could perhaps be one of my many admirers. Oh, but what is this faint tingling sensation in my arm? This ringing in my ears, this dizziness. Could it be a case? Oh, my avatar is stuck, apparently. And I don't know how long that's been the case. Why are you stuck? I'm going to restart her for the... Well, we're out of time, but... Why did you break? I hope she hasn't been broken super long. No, she's still broken. Why did this happen? think it's a camera issue, actually. Well, she's just gonna have to stay broken. Oh no! Alright. Please tell me a joke. A mild concussion will not sway Inspector Hildebrand from his true calling. Verily, it could be naught else. Somewhere nearby, dastardly doings are afoot, and only I can thwart them. Copious quantities of sand, unbearable heat. The Sagoli Desert, I'd bet my life on it. Which means Ul'dah is but a short trek away. Yes, if it all fits. Only that den of iniquity could so violently trigger my keen investigator's sense. Fear not, law-abiding citizens. Inspector Hildebrand shall soon deliver you from evil. Is this my camera? No, it was my mouse. Actually, let me unplug and replug my camera. See if I can fix her so I don't forget. Midstream. Now it won't turn back on. Such a mystery. What a sad thing to happen. I'm so small now. Why are you so small? There she is. She still won't move. I guess she's just gonna have to be broken, and hopefully I can figure it out tomorrow. Or, I will work on it after stream. But there's nothing I can do to fix her right now. How sad. Alright, we'll do this, talk to some people. Be on our way for the day. Beg your pardon? You wish to question me as to the whereabouts of that deviant running around town dressed in rags? Do I look like a reporter of the Mithril Eye? I do not consort with perverts. Alright. What? You're looking for a half-naked Highlander who likes to catch criminals? I think I'd remember a thing like that. If you do manage to find this inspector friend of yours, tell him to do something about the goddamn duelist. Me mate's pa's cousin's kid, best friend, lost his blade the other day to that bastard. Sorry, lass, but if it's information you want, you'd be served best by going to Wymund. The only rumors I've heard are those about the weapon thief. Calls himself a duelist, or so I hear. But when you don't allow your opponents to refuse, well... I don't know how long she's been broken. I feel so sad. Hopefully not that long. Hopefully not all stream. I remember her moving. I take it you've dealt with that zombie problem? Eh? So do tell. Just why are they dressed up like dandies? Waymond! Hey, Waymond! Thal almighty bugger me to a bleeding spear. The dead have arisen and they're walking in the streets of Ulda. No need for melodrama, my good man. As you can see, reports of my death were greatly exaggerated. It's true, he's not a zombie. I checked. You do seem hale and healthy, which, begs the question, how in the seven hells did you survive that fall? Why, question divine providence. What matters is that Eorzea's champion has returned, and that he, and by that I mean I, shall bring this thieving duelist to justice. Heard about that, did you? Might be harder than you think. Even I got no inkling of the fellow's current whereabouts. Inconceivable! I refuse to believe that ever-inquisitive, ever-ambitious, ever-reliable Wymond is without a single shred of information, even one of dubious relevance. Well, I make no promises, mind you, but there was some talk of a fair maiden that said her most... This knave assaulted a young woman as well? The audacity! I should fly to her side at... Why, if it isn't the lady from Sogali. A serendipitous encounter indeed, unless you too seek the belligerent duelist. Capital! It will be invigorating to engage in a friendly battle of wits. Already the spirit of competition fills me. Come, Nashu, we must away. Damn it, Hildy. I ain't told you the lass's name yet. Waymond believes it would be best if you assisted Inspector Hildebrand with his investigation. Well, Akali, you might as well go after him. He'll be disappointed if you don't. The lady in question is named Yellow Moon. She's a woman with a taste for the finer things in life. Safe to say you'll find her fitting for something in the Weaver's Guild most every day. Good luck with the inspecting, Inspector. And that is where we will leave it. We will do more Hildy, next week, along with more dungeons and stuff. There's quite a few things I need to do before we move on to the main story quest. So yes, I'm so sorry Casa broke. I don't know why she's broken. My camera won't turn back on, but I'm surprised she's even here, so... At least she exists in the corner of the screen. I am off tomorrow, but I will be back on Tuesday at 2 p.m. EST with more Darkest Dungeon. And at 6 p.m. EST, there will be more Pillars of Eternity, which which people very much want me to play. I get messages on Twitter about it. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely evening and be safe out there. Goodbye.